News now at this hour begins from Kebbi State, where suspected bandits have attacked Waje community in Ose Local Government Area of Kebbi State, killing 15 farmers and injuring 3 others. Now, the state's Deputy Governor, Senator Umar Tafida, led a condolence visit to the district head, offering words of comfort and financial support to the grieving families on behalf of Governor Nasser Idris. Describing the gesture as a modest show of solidarity, Tafida pledged continued government support. District Head Honorable Bala Dambaba praised the visit and called for stronger security, noting the area's vulnerability due to its proximity to Niger, Zamfara, and Sokoto states. Now, the local government chairman confirmed the casualty figures. For more on security situation in some parts of the north, I'm joined by a criminologist and security consultant from the Department of Criminology and Security Studies, Caleb University, Dr. Dieli Aigbe. Dr. Aigbe, thank you so much for joining us. Now,
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you. Yes. So, Dr. Aigbe, what does this attack tell us about the current state of security in Kebbi and nearby states?
The national security doctrines is under now. See trades of these leads or group spreading it across the northern part of Nigeria. We start the ground say, well, in the north is going to south and northwest, and it was not central. So the national security president there will be a national security state and national assembly to concord to that with the president. The drag and taking the government that made Tinubu and attending towards 2027. So wrong need to we said at times that we have the black idea and have to this insurgency, not just in money. We look at the Barr government, he spent about 11.3 trillion of the government. You are just only 20 million. From my research finds the mega corruption in security sector have banned the government now, and it is dragging their feet in order to take actions. To turn it into action is lacking in the past government. This present government is towards that narrative. So it's sad that I believe we can work well. National nation insurgents in the north south, not east, not to form that city together. Okay, that's like replica what we did at the southwest, the formation of Aboteko. So it will be a long way of having combating security. But we have a lot of stupendous amount of budgetary allocation to security, but we have not been able to do budgetary syndication into
Hello, Mr. Dr. Aigbe, if you can hear me, we sincerely apologize, but we're having issues with your audio, so we will try to reconnect with you. Now, still talking security, the Nigerian Bar Association, Anambra State Chapter, has condemned the gruesome murder of its member, Ifeanyi Ilokasia. Now, Ilokasia, a member of Otuacha Barr, was killed alongside his client in Nanka, Orumba North Local Government Area as they were returning from a court sitting in Ekulobia High Court on 15th May. The NBA, in a statement signed by KG Abonyi, the chairperson, Committee of Chairmen and Secretaries of NBA Anambra, described the attack as a blatant assault on the legal profession and the rule of law. Now, the Committee of Chairmen and Secretaries of NBA Anambra Chapter consequently directed all lawyers to boycott all court sittings in the state from 20th to 21st May in protest against the murder of their colleague. The lawyers demanded justice be served and the relevant authorities must do all it takes to pursue truth and accountability. In a related development, the chairman of All Progressives Congress Ward 5, Ifon, Ose Local Government Area of Ondo State, Nelson Adepoyigi, who was kidnapped at his residence in Ifon a few days ago, has been reportedly killed by his abductors. Now, the kidnappers, however, set free 2 individuals who reportedly took 5 million naira and food items to them as ransom to secure Adepoyigi's release. The kidnappers had initially demanded 100 million naira, but after negotiations, reduced it to 5 million naira with foodstuff. The chairman of Ose Local Government Area, Honorable Barrister Clement Kolapo Ojo, confirmed the development in a statement issued by his media aide, Oluwaseun Ogunniyi. Meanwhile, Ondo State Police Command is yet to confirm the killing of the politician. The Commissioner of Police, Wilfred Afolabi, disclosed that a detachment of police detectives have been drafted to the community to investigate the incident. To accountability matters, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERP, has formally written to the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mr. Barr Ojulari, urging him to immediately account for 500 billion naira in oil revenue reportedly missing from the Federation account. The demand, made in a letter dated May 17, 2025, comes in response to recent revelations by the World Bank, which showed that Nigeria earned over 1.1 trillion naira from crude oil sales and related income between October and December 2024. However, only 600 billion naira was remitted by the NNPCL, raising serious questions about the unaccounted 500 billion naira balance. SERP is calling for full transparency, immediate recovery of the missing funds, and prosecution of anyone found responsible. The group has given the company 7 days to respond or face legal action. The organization warned that the missing funds could severely impact critical areas such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure, especially amidst widespread economic hardship. 2 octogenarians, 80-year-old Ayuba Ashiru and 82-year-old Uloma Uchechi Sunday, along with her daughter Chisom, topped the list of arrests made by the NDLEA in a nationwide drug sweep. Ayuba, a former convict, was caught in Kaduna with 2.3 kilograms of skunk. Uloma and her daughter were nabbed in Abia with meth, tramadol, and cannabis. Massive drug seizures were recorded at Apapa and One ports, with opioids worth over 3.2 billion naira intercepted. In Kwara, a polytechnic student and 2 others were caught with cannabis and tramadol. An AK-47 hidden in maize, cocaine in a headgear, and over 900 kilograms of skunk were also recovered in separate raids across 9 states. At least 7 people have lost their lives while 16 others sustained various degrees of injuries in a tragic truck accident in Niger State. Now, the ill-fated truck transporting grains and about 36 male passengers to Kano from Lagos was involved in a lone accident attributed to the deplorable nature of the road. The accident occurred in the early hours of Sunday at the Essa community along the Agay-Badegi Road in Kacha Local Government Area of Niger State. The Director General of Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Abdullahi Baba-Ara, disclosed this in a statement on Sunday. Emergency responders, including officials from Nsema, nearby commuters, and local villagers who were involved in the rescue operations at the scene, confirmed that 7 individuals had died at the time of filing this report. Now, of the survivors, 11 suffered serious injuries while 5 sustained minor injuries. Some of the injured victims were taken to health facilities in Badegi and Agay for medical attention. A significant number of families, mainly women and children who were displaced by terrorist attacks, have returned to their hometowns in the Ose Local Government Area of Borno State. This follows the return of peace to the area. News Central's Umar Kirawa completes the report.
The recent attack on Marte facility, among others, burned down to ashes. families were displaced because of increasing threats. A grandmother of 7, Zainab Abacha, alongside other family members, returned back to Marte from Dikwa, about 24 kilometers in northern Borno.
Suro amnu solu da na da ban napte baro da wonte ke kulu ne akusa ni do mongono ke na darba luwe ne amma ku yar wote le ya luwe baro.
A significant number of families along with women and children who have been displaced by terrorist attacks now return to their hometown Marte local government area in Borno State as peace takes root in their community.
Sami ubuni na do kali saya kakajire chinyana sami ubuni shega ina ari awdo mani anda ala lor ndiro cherungu wanule fanguwa samma suudu ala kamande yarabi burama ala adma dano ari gonduri samma ishena do ndiro sale to male zemba shiro samma so chade iskana samma bune fore pijin ishena ari
yawa bare nyana arinda ngudo ejo fulata ejo kumar kanan dia ngudo dia ji kwarle nyana ma buyen na ba yen na ba ade rafa ndere kede ku ishena da mai na ire isuwa ma ma andere kan guda yubiye alhamdulillah askrinyana kwa ku dia commander matumanye.
With the pain of the terror attack, the battle to maintain peace is still ongoing in towns and villages affected.
About 20,000 people have left Marte to Dikwa. This is very obnoxious to the government, to the federal government as well as the state government. Because this huge number of people is a threat on itself. But alhamdulillah, we came back home. And then yesterday we spent a night here, you have seen, with the support of the Nigerian army, with the support of our gallant civilian jet hunters and vigilante. We are back here in Marte, and then the communities are now resettled for the second time now.
Authorities maintain that leaving communities deserted will further make the area vulnerable to infiltration and planting of improvised explosive devices by terrorists.
So far so good, you have seen we have strengthened the resilience of the community. We have increased the numbers of civilian jet hunters and vigilante in order to complement the efforts of the Nigerian army. The Nigerian army has also increased the workforce that are residing in this town, and we have taken many measures that need not to be explained here because it's a security matter.
Despite persistent security challenges, the rural dwellers show resilience to withstand the heat, particularly with support from authorities. In Marte, News Central, Umori Kirawa.
The news returns after the break. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Our President Bola Tinubu on Sunday met with Pope Leo XIV in the Vatican, Rome. The meeting comes shortly after Leo was installed as the Bishop of Rome and the 267th leader of the Roman Catholic Church. The Nigerian president shook hands with the Pope and had a brief conversation with him before moving away. Tinubu had joined other world leaders in Rome, Italy on Sunday for the installation mass marking the beginning of the pontificate of His Holiness Pope Leo XIV. There'll be more on the Pope's installation mass in our foreign news segment ahead in this bulletin. Let's turn our attention to some political stories. As Nigeria begins to look ahead to the 2027 general elections, a significant political shift is underway in the South-South region, traditionally a stronghold of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Now the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, is gaining ground. Now in this special report, News Central's Austin Azu takes a closer look at the changing political landscape.
Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborewori, former PDP Vice Presidential candidate Ifon Okowa, and other party leaders recently defected to the APC, thereby ending PDP 26-year governance in the oil-rich Niger Delta State.
We have been in opposition for almost 10 years. Do we need that? No. Mr. President have supported us. We cannot face him in 2027 to work against him.
22 lawmakers of the State House of Assembly, including the Speaker Motimi Gowo, also defected from the PDP to the APC, citing unending internal crisis within the South-South PDP leadership.
That our defection was occasioned by the instability at the national level and the factionalization at the South-South level.
In Ondo State, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Blessing Igbabako, also defected from the PDP to the APC, along with 17 local government chairmen, many councillors, and other high-ranking party members.
We, the members of the House, we have been with you and will continue to with you.
Integrity Group also staged a 1 million man march in Asaba in solidarity with Governor Sheriff Oborewori and the entire PDP structure for dumping the PDP for the APC.
We are celebrating the 2 years of impact of good governance in Delta. So we are celebrating him, and even the recent movement from the PDP to the APC to connect to the national body of the APC with the president, to support the president to do better.
In the gale of mass defections rocking the PDP in the South-South region, what leadership strategy is the PDP adopting to strengthen its position and play active opposition role?
Yeah, it's giving us concern, but that's the human being for you. The human being is a free moral agent, and the Constitution allows for it. But the party must maintain its discipline. But we took a position in our last NWC meeting to go to court. So we are waiting the legal advisor's recommendation on how to go about it. We are going to take back our mandate in court. But this is no longer a scope. This is about leaving the party to another party.
As the politics of 2027 continues to take shape with surprises and intrigues, among others in the South-South region, political observers are watching and following every development with key interest. In Asaba for News Central, Austin Azul.
This week at Nigeria's Senate, political realignments took center stage as 3 lawmakers from Kebbi State defected to the ruling party, while heated debates unfolded over a 1.7 trillion naira FCT budget. Also, the bill seeking the establishment of a proposed National Malaria Eradication Agency passed second reading on the floor of the Senate. News Central Saged Ibrahim gives us an overview of what transpired at the Senate during the course of the week.
The week opened with yet another round of cross-carpeting as lawmakers Adamu Alewa representing Kebbi Central, Yahya Abdullahi representing Kebbi North, and Garba Meidoki representing Kebbi South all crossed from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, citing unresolved internal crisis. The Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, welcomed the defectors, saying that their move will strengthen the ruling party's legislative agenda.
So it shows that there will be a lot of successes and victories for the APC in the future. Nigerians are beginning to understand what progressive ideology means.
Amid the political maneuvers, security concerns also dominated Tuesday's session as lawmakers demanded urgent military reinforcement in Borno State following fresh terrorist attacks. Mohammed Mongono, representing Borno North, also led calls for advanced deployment of adequate security to notable flashpoints.
Insurgents have employed more modern technology, including the use of drones, to unleash attacks on villages and communities in the state.
It's not only in Borno and Yobe, but Adamawa inclusive.
On Wednesday, the lawmakers scrutinized the 1.7 trillion naira FCT budget, which then passed its second reading. Some praised the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike for his initiatives in the capital. Others voiced concerns about illegal settlement springing up in the city and exorbitant land prices.
We have seen the revolutionary infrastructure taking place, and all we need to do, tracking revenues and the utilization of those revenues.
When the roads are provided in those areas and water and other infrastructure are laid, the prices of land will come down.
The Senate Committee on Federal Character clashed with government agencies on Wednesday as Chairman Orwell Onyeso denounced the serial disrespect of absent chief executive officers during oversight hearings.
Part of the discipline of you being chief executive is to obey the law. If you don't come, there will be punitive action.
Thursday's session saw the advancement of lawmaker Ned Nwoko's health bill seeking the establishment of a national malaria eradication agency. This gained wide support across party lines.
Its mandate will be clear and aggressive. Formulate and champion national policies for malaria eradication.
This bill will focus our attention on eradicating malaria, reducing the impact amongst the Nigerian people.
From defections to security and also malaria control, this week's Senate activities showcased the chamber's political tensions and its policy ambitions. In Abuja for News Central, Sagir Ibrahim.
In a bid to strengthen Nigeria's criminal justice system, civil society groups have called for more transparency and accountability within the Nigerian police force. Now, this was during a high-level forum in Abuja, where they tasked the management of the nation's police force to focus on effectively implementing the Administration of Criminal Justice Act across the country. Sumaya Abubakar has details.
Stakeholders across Nigeria's criminal justice sector have come together to discuss the growing need for police accountability and transparency in the enforcement of justice across the country. This forum, organized by civil society groups in collaboration with the Nigerian Police Force, also focuses on how to effectively implement the nation's Administration of Criminal Justice Act. Many here say that the police remains the public's first point of contact within the justice sector. Thus, the need to ensure the act is effective.
The Administration of Criminal Justice, you will agree with me, it is not just a legal framework. It is a call to action for all stakeholders in the criminal justice system. The Inspector General of Police reaffirms the commitment of the force once again to leading by example in its own implementation.
With support from civil society groups like the Clean Foundation, the forum addressed key issues such as unlawful arrest, detention practices, and the protection of suspects' rights.
Everyone has the right to be respected as a human being, and that's very, very important. And that's also what we want to achieve by effective and efficient administration of criminal justice law in Nigeria. The fact that somebody is tagged to be or said to be a criminal does not mean he does not have a life. So we must go through the process of the law. The rule of law must take place.
The acting executive director of the Clean Foundation called for regular monitoring, the need for transparency, and a renewed commitment to ensuring justice for citizens, not just in policy, but in practice.
At this point, we are bringing out what we think is the observations we have made in terms of the challenges and the gaps we think that in terms of implementation is existing, so that experts from various security agencies as well as the police itself could look onto this Ministry of Justice and all the rest of them to think about how to improve on the gains that have been made on the agile implementation.
As the push for reform continues, civil society groups say sustained collaboration is key to ensuring police operations and actions aligns with the law, international best practices, and with public expectations. In Abuja, for News Central, Sumaya Abubakar.
In education news, Saturday, May 17th marked day 2 of the UTME receipt as ordered by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM. Now, the board had rescheduled the exam for over 300,000 candidates after widespread technical glitches disrupted sessions at the 157 computer-based test centers. The affected states include Lagos, Anambra, Imo, Abia, Ebonyi, and Enugu, where candidates faced issues that compromised the integrity of their scripts. News Central's Israel F. Ferrabo visited one of the CBT centers in Lagos for an on-the-ground report.
In the wake of widespread public concern over technical glitches and poor performance in the recent UTME exams, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board ordered a retake for affected candidates. At the CBT Center visited by News Central, venue for the exams, candidates arrived early and the exam commenced promptly following a seamless verification process. This new effort by JAMB has sparked cautious optimism among students and their parents.
I'm a little bit scared, but hoping that I can do better than the other time. I felt so bad when I saw the score and mostly the thing that is in that examination was very simple. Like we came out, we were like, the questions are so easy.
Some of the students spoke to News Central after writing the exam.
It was nice. I did a lot of questions, like I knew the ones I knew, and I left the rest to God.
Did you experience any form of challenge like the last time?
Not really, but somehow, just a little.
Were you able to submit your answers this time around?
Yes, I submitted.
It was cool, fantastic, nice. It was okay.
So are you expecting a good?
I didn't experience any challenges or nothing at all.
Thank you.
All right. It was tougher than the last one, but it was still okay. I wasn't able to finish, but just like a few questions left. No, there wasn't any problem. Everything was smooth. You're welcome.
Some parents shared their thoughts on the entire process and the way forward.
She was the person that was checking her phone before she found out that they are going to redo it. So I was excited too, so that she can be able to get what she wants. So I'm hoping that this time around, the Lord will intervene.
I came here, I think I don't have any complaint. Because when they told us 6:30, immediately we reached at 6:30 dot. They start checking them in, doing their normal process. So I think they are trying. It's not that this that happened just like a question of the way God wants it.
We write exams online. Rather than do this CBT, going to centers, they can do it in the comfort of their homes with their own laptops. There is a camera that will capture you. If you stand up, then it's cancelled. We can do this seamlessly. It's very simple. We just need to get it right.
While challenges remain, this retake is being seen as a step in the right direction as stakeholders await the outcome with renewed expectations. In Lagos, for News Central, Israel Ifirobo.
There is the notion in some quarters that the boy child is increasingly being overlooked. Now, while significant progress has been made in empowering the girl child, there are growing concerns about the seeming neglect of boys. However, boy advocates highlight the challenges of the boy child while calling on society for balanced gender empowerment and protection of the boy child. News Central's Omolola Ololade has more in this report.
In recent years, the world has been so immersed in closing the gender gap and creating better opportunities for the girl child at the expense of the boy child, whom have been neglected due to societal movement for gender equity and balance.
So just look at your neighbor.
This imbalance is evident in most Nigerian classrooms as many of these boys drop out of school, forcing them to take to the streets. It is on this premise that a boys advocacy group brought together boys between the ages of 11 to 18 across different secondary schools in Lagos to inculcate the right values needed to thrive in today's world.
It's a call to address the systemic neglect of the boy child in policy, in education, and in societal discourse. By providing a platform for dialogue, a platform for mentorship, and skills development, we aim to equip our boys with the tools that they require to be able to navigate the complexities of modern life and to become agents of positive change.
I hope you know 2 out of 10 boys have been sexually abused before the age of 18. But these cases are underreported because we're not paying attention to it. So the first thing I need us to do is, it has to be ingrained in our culture that raising boys is something that we must do. Else, the girls you are building and raising, there won't be future for them.
However, boy advocates emphasize that boys are not born whole as society portrays them to be. Rather, they are built whole. Hence the call on parents, particularly mothers, to take on the responsibility of nurturing their boys into future responsible men.
You don't drift into manhood. Read my lips. You don't arrive or just find yourself in manhood. You grow into it with guidance, with faith, and with fire, just as we're here to do today. Now, let me now speak to people who shape boys. To every boy mom, boy dad, board members of this platform, teacher, mentor, policeman who are here today, boys are not born whole, they are built whole.
We are doing a disservice by not making it bigger, by not focusing. If we're going to focus that much on women, we should also focus that much on boys. And we should be very intentional about how we are raising boys, bringing them up, and the focus that we have on their inputs and their future.
The boy child is not a problem to be solved, but a potential to be nurtured. Hence, addressing their challenges becomes a priority to all relevant stakeholders. As the country strives for gender equality, there is a need to ensure no child is left behind. In Lagos, for News Central, Omolola Ololade.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has issued a weather forecast predicting Sunday sunny, cloudy and stormy conditions across the country from Sunday through Tuesday. Now, in its statement released Saturday in Abuja, NIMET said most areas would experience sunny skies on Sunday morning, but warned that thunderstorms are expected later in the day across parts of Gombe, Bauchi, Kaduna, Taraba, and Adamawa states. For the north-central region, states including Kwara, Plateau, Nasarawa, Niger, Benue, and Kogi are expected to experience isolated thunderstorms by afternoon or evening. In the southern states, early morning thunderstorms are likely in Cross River, Lagos, Ogun, Bayelsa, Rivers, Delta, and Akwa Ibom, with further storm expected later in the day. NIMET is advising the public to take precautions as strong winds may precede thunderstorms. Now, people are urged to avoid driving in heavy rain, disconnect electrical appliances, and stay away from tall trees to reduce the risk of fallen branches. Airline operators have also been encouraged to consult NIMET for up-to-date forecasts to aid in safe flight planning. A deadly suicide bombing rocked Mogadishu Sunday, killing and injuring several people outside the Zero de Mayo military camp. Now, Somali authorities say the attackers, believed to be from the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab group, disguised himself as a civilian before detonating explosives around 9:20 a.m. local time. The explosion hit as civilians gathered to enlist, causing chaos in the Hodon district. Witnesses described seeing multiple casualties, with one saying the whole area turned to rubble. Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility, calling the victims apostates. Meanwhile, Egypt has condemned the attack and reiterated its support for Somalia's security forces. The bombing marks the latest in a string of violent escalations by Al-Shabaab in the war-torn nation. At least 14 people were killed on Sunday after Sudan's paramilitary rapid support forces shelled a displacement camp in Darfur. Volunteer rescuers say artillery fire struck the Abu Shuk camp, targeting a market, homes, mosques, and public spaces. The camp, home to tens of thousands already displaced by war and famine, is among the few remaining under army control in the region. First responders struggled to reach all victims due to ongoing insecurity. Now, the RSF has intensified attacks around El Fasher, the last state capital in Darfur held by the army. Last month, the group seized Zamzam camp, displacing nearly 400,000 people. Sudan's brutal conflict is now in its third year. Nigerian televangelist Timothy Omotosho has been deported from South Africa following his acquittal after spending 8 years in jail on 32 charges, including rape, sexual exploitation, and human trafficking. Now, the verdict sparked outrage across South Africa as the judge criticized prosecutors for mishandling the case. The 66-year-old pastor was rearrested on immigration charges. In other news from around the world, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has described the coming week as crucial for the future of Ukraine as anticipation builds around an expected phone conversation between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Speaking in Rome at the start of talks with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, hosted by Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, von der Leyen stressed the importance of momentum and international pressure to move discussions forward. She emphasized the EU's commitment to supporting Ukraine and hinted at the significance of next week's diplomatic engagements.
I'd like also to raise the topic of Ukraine. What unites us is that we want a just and lasting peace.
Sure.
And I know how much you are engaged in ending this war, and I thank you for that. So what is important now is certainly that we push that things are moving forward, and I think the next week will be crucial.
During his inaugural Mass in front of world leaders and dignitaries, Pope Leo XIV delivered a powerful homily expressing his concerns about the state of the world. The pontiff strongly criticized an economic system that he said exploits nature and marginalizes the people. In his remarks, the Pope highlighted the ongoing discord and divisions around the world, citing the wounds caused by hatred, violence, and prejudice. He emphasized that too many people are still suffering due to an economic paradigm that prioritizes profit over the earth's resources and the well-being of the most vulnerable. The Pope's words resonated deeply with those in attendance, setting the tone for his papacy as one focused on healing and justice.
In questo nostro tempo vediamo ancora troppa discordia, troppe ferite causate dall'odio, dalla violenza, dai pregiudizi, dalla paura del diverso, da un paradigma economico che sfrutta le risorse della terra ed emargina i più poveri. E noi vogliamo essere dentro questa pasta un piccolo lievito di unità, di comunione, di fraternità.
In the world of sports, Nottingham Forest kept their Champions League hopes alive with a crucial 2-1 victory over West Ham at London Stadium. Morgan Gibbs-White capitalized on a goalkeeper error to give Forest an early lead. Nikola Milenkovic doubled their advantage after a lengthy 6-minute VAR check. Jared Bowen scored late for West Ham, but Forest survived 16 minutes of added time to secure the win. Forest now sits just 1 point behind Newcastle, Chelsea, and Aston Villa. A victory against Chelsea on the final day could secure Champions League football next season. Meanwhile, Everton marked their final Premier League game at historic Goodison Park with a comfortable win over relegated Southampton. Iliman Ndiaye scored twice in the emotional farewell to the 133-year-old stadium as thousands of fans packed the streets hours before kickoff. Chelsea completed the domestic treble with a clinical 3-0 victory over Manchester United in the Women's FA Cup final at Wembley. Sandy Baltimore netted twice while Katarina Macario added another goal to cap off manager Sonia Bompaster's stellar debut season. The victory comes just days after Reddit founder Alexis Ohanian announced a £20 million investment in the club. Ohanian attended the match with his wife, tennis legend Serena Williams. Now, Baltimore opened the scoring from the penalty spot after Bizet's high challenge on Cuthbert. Macario later secured the win with a powerful header before Baltimore added a third in stoppage time. Now, Chelsea had already claimed the Women's Super League title and League Cup this season. This marks their first treble season 2021 and continues their dominance over United. And that's all at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of our major stories. You heard that 15 farmers killed, 3 injured as suspected bandits attack Waje community in Kebbi State. You also heard that Serap demands accountability from the NNPCL over unremitted 500 billion naira oil revenue. Finally, we told you that suicide bomber killed dozens outside military base in Mogadishu, Somalia. Remember, you may send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Darshan Usman.